Hi, my name is Katrina Oshier. I'm a senior manager here at WNS Denali, and today I'm going to be talking about tips to manage, mentor, and support young people in the workplace. When I first joined the workforce, I really struggled for a little bit. I was always an overperformer. I went to college at 16, I double majored, graduated at 20. I had a clear path defined for me at that time, but when I came to the workplace, that no longer existed. It wasn't until I was about 28 that I really found a good group of mentors, managers, and peers that helped me to get my career trajectory on the right path. Because of my experience when I was younger, I am very passionate about managing and mentoring and supporting young people in our workforce. So here are my tips for how to manage people, young people in the workforce. My first tip is always trust-based relationships. And the way that I accomplish that is through honesty, creating a safe workspace, and also mutual respect, which I think is really important. For trust-based relationships, it's being able to have open and honest conversations. When you're first entering the workforce, there's a lot of things that you might not be aware of, whether it's office politics, what's going on behind the scenes with management. Being able to talk to people about their strengths and their weaknesses openly, and setting clear expectations for them on how they should be working, what goals they should be working towards, where they need to challenge themselves to maybe go outside of their comfort zone is really, really important. My second tip is encouraging critical thinking. The ways that I do this is through creating spaces where I'm asking the team to think about problems or challenges that we're having. Too often what I notice is that, again, through our education systems, we're told exactly what the expectation is and how to accomplish it. And then a lot of times in people's first jobs, they're treated like robots. They're micromanaged, they're wordsmithed on everything. They also sometimes aren't asked to think about things, right? The managers are telling them exactly what to do. And so I try to create a culture that encourages that. And it's through creating brainstorming sessions where we look at the process and look at the pain points. And I ask the team to come up with how to solve that. There's also situations where the client or leadership will challenge me on problems or escalations that they're facing. And I'll bring that back to the team and I'll say, hey, here's what we're being asked to solve for. What do you guys think? What's the way that we can approach this? Another thing that does is it creates buy-in from the team. So instead of me going around and having to encourage everybody to adopt the process that I've come up with, they've come up with the process, so they're already bought in. I also encourage people to push back on me when there's a process in place that maybe doesn't make sense, or if they have a better way of going about it. One really good example I have on this is I brought somebody into the team who was really good at automation, and I just hadn't had a lot of experience with it. And he challenged a lot of our process to create efficiencies and build automations out that helped us to deliver a higher quality product, as well as making the process much more faster for our whole team. My last tip is encouraging career ownership. I don't think a lot of people know how to drive their careers necessarily. So again, you go through this education system, you know where you're going, what you're doing, what your next step is, and then you get out into the world and how do you decide what your career looks like? So to do that, I think it's self-reflection, asking the person to reflect on what are their strengths and weaknesses? What do they enjoy about their job? Where do they want to grow? Are there areas of interest that they just don't have the experience in? And helping them to get those experiences to build out their resume. Secondly is monthly career performance discussions, helping them to understand where they are on their path to a promotion. I usually start promotion conversations very, very early, at least a year in advance. So that way we make sure that when they do go forward for a promotion, it's an open and shut case that we've addressed all of the issues, the challenges, and the gaps. And lastly, teaching them how to plan their career trajectory. So I don't think everybody comes out of college saying, I want to do X or I want to be X. Sometimes people just don't have that path in their minds. And I'm one of those people, right? I never said I wanted to be a senior manager at WNS Denali. But what's helped me was to reflect on what I did enjoy about my career. And so my advice is to pick 3 things and to not accept a role unless it has all 3 of those things that you really like and that you want in your career. And it can be anything like, maybe it's data analytics, process and process improvement, managing and mentoring young people in the workplace. But think about those things that you enjoy and make sure that your career has it as you move forward. Those are my 3 tips for supporting young people in the workplace. I hope you find these tips helpful. If you'd like to connect on LinkedIn and discuss further, please reach out. I'd love to have a discussion.